Body Bags, where horror lies.
What's up, everybody? This is Kyle over here at BodyBags, coming back for a Tuesday review today. Had a couple of movies on my mind that I wanted to do today, but I wasn't really sure, which ones I wanted to do or which one I wanted to do. But I actually came up with one. It's an older movie. It's a really popular movie. It's actually one of my favorite movies of all time. So I figured I'd throw a review on it. I did Dawn of the Dead a couple weeks back. So I thought I'd throw a review on this one. I noticed this movie wasn't on the channel already, so this movie is Re-Animator. This is 1995. This came out in 1985, 2 years before I was born, which is kind of crazy to think about. It is Re-Animator. It's a sci-fi horror comedy directed by Stuart Gordon, and also stars Jeffrey Combs, who you see here on the front. This movie has two sequels to it. It's actually the first one in the franchise. You got Re-Animator, which is this one, and then you got Bride of Re-Animator and Beyond Re-Animator. Bride, I believe, came out in like the late 90s, and then I'm pretty sure Beyond Re-Animator came out in 2003. So they came out pretty far after the first one. But those movies are also really, really good, really awesome movies. Recommend the whole. Go ahead, say it off the bat. I recommend this whole trilogy. Like I said, it's directed by Stuart Gordon. Stars Jeffrey Combs. Basically, the plot of the movie it's pretty simple, pretty cool, really neat plot. I actually showed this movie to my friend not too long ago, and he loved it. He didn't have a hard time at all following it. Basically, what goes on is you got Jeffrey Combs here, who is a medical student. At the beginning of the movie, it kind of opens up where he is experimenting in this school, and this experiment kind of goes wrong, and he leaves this school. I think the school, from what I remember, is in Switzerland. He ends up in a school in the UK to further his studies in medicine. He's in medical school. He joins the school, and off the bat, when you meet his character, when you see his character, you're kind of thinking that he's kind of a weird dude. He's very, very straight to the point, very nonchalant about everything. Just thinks he's right about everything. So you kind of get this impression that he's kind of a douchebag at first. But opens up, and he meets his roommate. He actually moves in with a roommate, which is one of his fellow students, and his roommate's girlfriend is actually the dean's daughter. So movie kind of starts out, and it's like that. He's getting the room. He's setting up. He actually gets the basement of his roommate's house, so he can set up and do some of his experiments and stuff down there. And he also has a room upstairs. Well, he ends up, and it doesn't really explain how it happened. I'm just going to go ahead and assume he ends up killing his roommate's cat. It doesn't really say that he killed the cat, but the cat ends up dead. And the first time you see him actually doing his experiments and stuff, he actually reanimates the cat. Re-Animator is basically Herbert West, which is his character, has this serum that reanimates life. It brings people back to life, or brings your brain activity back to life. So he reanimates this dead cat like 2 or 3 times in front of his roommate. And his roommate's like, "What the hell, man? What is this stuff? What do you got going on here?" And starts to freak out his roommate. Well, his roommate actually goes to the dean, which is his girlfriend's dad, and tells the dean, and the dean thinks that he's crazy too, his roommate, and he doesn't want his daughter, seeing him or anything like that. As the movie progresses, there is definitely like a high point in this movie. There's several high points in this movie. This movie is like nonstop, like hilarious action. Me and my friend, this movie's a riot. Me and my friend were like laughing our asses off at it. I mean, I've seen it like several times. And Jeffrey Combs is also one of my favorite actors. He's been in a lot of 80s horror, a lot of 90s horror. He was actually in Star Trek. I believe he was in The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. And I'm a big Star Trek guy too. He's just an amazing actor. Everything that Jeffrey Combs does is just amazing. But pretty much in this movie, you're seeing him bring back things to life, and people think he's crazy. And then when he brings back these things to life, all this crazy stuff happens. He ends up, and not to spoil anything, but he ends up bringing the dean back. The dean ends up pretty much dying from this freak accident, which doesn't really spoil anything. He's not really the main character, but Jeffrey Combs brings him back to life. Herbert West does, and that's just hilarious. He's like a zombie when he comes back. As you can see on the back here, you got there's a head that comes back to life, and it shows him down there with the serum and his roommate there. This movie, I give this movie a straight 9.5, or maybe even a 10 out of 10. 9.5 or 10 out of 10. There's nothing about this movie that I dislike. I really love this movie. Now, part 2 and 3, they're good. They're definitely good movies. Definitely, they have they have the same characters and stuff in them. Jeffrey Combs is in both the sequels and everything. And Barbara Crampton is too. I don't know if she's in the third one, but I know she's in the second one. She probably is in the third one. But great acting in this movie, great storyline. The plot's awesome. It's just one of those movies you just want to keep rewatching, go back and just visit over and over again. And even it says on the cover here, I mean, I don't know, this is opinion, but this is one of the greatest horror movies ever made, and I definitely agree with that. I do believe Re-Animator, From Beyond, a lot of the 80s movies, especially these H.P. Lovecraft movies, which this was actually based off of a kind of novella of a series that H.P. Lovecraft did. That's why his name, or H.P. Lovecraft, is on the covers of these. It's called Herbert West Re-Animator. So these movies were actually based off that novella. So that's a pretty cool, interesting fact. Jeffrey Combs still does a lot of conventions and stuff. I know that a couple of people I've seen pictures of him with. I'd love to meet him one day. I think he'd be an awesome, cool dude to meet. Get him to sign, DVD or something like that. But also, this DVD has a ton of bonus features. I know there's steelbooks and stuff of this out there as well, but I'm pretty happy with this DVD. It's got commentary, you got interviews with the writer, composer, interview with Fangoria magazine, deleted and extended scenes, trailers. I mean, this pretty much has everything you'd want. It's even got audio commentary with Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton and Robert Sampson too, who's his roommate. So highly check this out. Recommend checking this out. And let me know what you think. I give this about a 9.5, 10 out of 10. And until next time, peace. See you guys.